It's the midday news on CoreTV News, and thank you for joining us on the news here. I am Nifemi Oguntoye. Home marketers have denied allegations that the nationwide food shortage has political undertones. They say now that the authorities have released money to them and the situation will improve. But marketers specifically say queues would disappear in Lagos and Abuja within the next 12 hours.
There were hitches about payment, and those ones have been cleared. So let us look at the forward movement is how to clear the queues.
So what are the assurances to the public, Nigerians, on how to get enough supply without suffering the challenges they went through these past days?
Yes, it's unfortunate, and we would like to tell our brothers, our daddies, uncles and mummies that it's unfortunate the whole thing happened that way. But it won't, the whole thing will start easing off. In Lagos, I assure you, it will start easing off from today because of the volume that we have put into the market. Okay, Abuja, because of the distance, because we are still moving this product from Lagos to Abuja, okay, and it takes some days for trucks to transit Lagos, Abuja. By the time the trucks start arriving from, say, tomorrow evening,
Federal government has issued sovereign debt notes of 30 billion naira to oil marketers out of the outstanding amount of 185 billion naira. Minister of Finance Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala said this after a meeting with oil marketers in Abuja, which also had Central Bank Governor Godwin Emefiele in attendance. She added that an additional 100 billion naira would soon be released to the marketers.
I had earlier mentioned and want to confirm that the marketers are here. We will pay them the exchange rate differentials that have been calculated by PPPRA. Already today, we are ready to release 30 billion from that, and we'll do more on top of that tomorrow as soon as we receive the numbers from PPPRA. But more importantly, the SDNs, we have calculated, as I said, I want to repeat the numbers. In December 2nd and 31st, we paid 320 billion naira to marketers. Since then, the total that has been finalized by PPPR, as you know, these things keep coming in on a rolling basis. What we have on hand now that we owe is 185 billion. Of that amount, we are issuing sovereign debt notes, SDNs, which is the instrument with which we pay the marketers, to the tune of 100 billion. And so they are here. We've had a chance to talk to ourselves. So we will issue that shortly. They have actually been.
Yeah, the federal government had said the long queues and filling stations across the country will soon be a thing of the past. And of course, that was the conclusion of plans to settle the backlog of subsidy payment to oil marketers. Speaking shortly after the weekly Federal Executive Council meeting in Abuja, Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, says the president has directed that speedy action should be taken to restore normalcy. The minister added that after paying oil marketers 320 billion naira in December 2014, the government is working out modalities to clear the outstanding 185 billion naira.
About the fuel marketers and the fuel marketing situation, the scarcity and the lines of the queues being experienced in the country. We discussed that at the Federal Executive Council because Mr. President wants as quick action to improve the situation as fast as possible. And so after the briefing and discussion on both the financial and the physical side, what emanates is that this situation we hope will soon be resolved, because both on the financial side, action has been taken and is being implemented both through the Ministry of Finance and the Governor of the Central Bank. We have let it be known that in December we paid 320.6 billion naira to marketers to settle their claims. And as of now, what we have approved by PPPR is about 185 billion outstanding, which we are issuing sovereign debt notes to them that they will be paid. Actually, at 2 o'clock this afternoon, we're having a full press conference on this issue with the marketers, and I invite those of you who are interested at the Ministry of Finance with the Governor of the Central Bank to participate. But the long and short of the matter is that the financial issues have been taken care of. The physical quantities are being loaded to be brought to Abuja and to Lagos and other cities that are suffering, so that hopefully by Thursday, beginning tomorrow next, we should begin to see these queues reduce as quantities, supplies arrive up to Saturday. We hope in Abuja will be cleared.
The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has arraigned 23 suspects for illegal oil bunkering before Federal High Court in Lagos. The suspects were docked before Justice Ibrahim Buba on a 3-count charge of conspiracy, illegal dealing, and storage of petroleum products. They were arrested by a naval patrol team aboard MV Long Island and handed over to EFCC, the operatives for investigation and prosecution, in December last year. The accused persons pleaded not guilty to all the charges of dealing in petroleum products illegally when they were read to them. Justice Buba granted bail to the accused persons in the sum of 50 million naira each and one surety in like sum who must be a resident of Lagos with landed property within the jurisdiction of court. The case was adjourned to March 23rd, 24th, and 25th and April the 2nd, 2015 for commencement of trial. Meanwhile, the EFCC says former Kogi State Governor Prince Abubakar Audu on Wednesday ordered a security aide to assault an EFCC operative, Haruna Shade, for daring to take his pictures in court. Abubakar was in court in continuation of his trial at an Abuja High Court for alleged involvement in a contract scam to the tune of 11 billion naira. The FCC said in a statement that the operative was carrying out his lawful duties when Audu's aide descended on him. The former governor was said to have demanded for the camera, but when Ashade refused to hand the equipment over to him, he ordered one of his aides, a police inspector, to forcefully collect the camera and delete his pictures from it. It added that a scuffle ensued which took the personal intervention of Justice Ademola Adeniyi, who was about coming out of his chambers to restore order. The All Progressives Congress presidential campaign team has described the wife of the president, Patience Jonathan, as an incredibly crude woman. It also wants the president to call her to order after she described the APC presidential candidate as brain dead at a recent campaign rally. The party's campaign team said in a statement issued in Abuja that it was discourteous and inexcusable for a wife of any president to make such a false and infertile pronouncement about the health status of another man on account of politics. A spokesman, Gadba Shehu, recalls Mrs. Jonathan had also been stoking the embers of violence when she urged PDP supporters to stone all those canvassing for change in Calabar. He said it was below the standard of a wife of a president to stoop so low to call for violent attacks against members of the opposition. Meanwhile, the People's Democratic Party says it's not strategizing to shift the election dates, contrary to suggestions by the All Progressives Congress. It also insists that it has no plan to either frame the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Atairu Jega, or arrest any opposition leader before the elections. Spokesman for PDP's presidential campaign team, Femi Fani-Kayode, maintained that the latest claims by the APC showed that it has lost focus. He also argued at the news conference in Abuja that the opposition party is now resorting to falsehood to gain public sympathy after realizing that it would lose the March 28 election.
The truth is that we are not strategizing to shift the election dates. We are not trying to frame up Jega. We have no plans to plant any illegal substance in the bags of any of the leaders of the APC whenever they travel. We are not trying to compromise the telephone numbers of any of the INEC officials. President Jonathan is not planning to arrest opposition leaders before the elections. The presidency has not retained the services of any foreigner to corrupt or compromise INEC computers on election day. And we are not planning to do any of the other reprehensible things that they have alleged. The truth is that if they were in our position, these are the sort of sordid things that they would do. Such dirty tactics and filthy things are a way of life and an art with them. But for us, such things are alien, perverse, and unacceptable.
Court orders INEC to register new political party. Find out more on this story and others after this break.
Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on Digi360. 2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world again?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions.
Welcome back. You can also get all of our top stories on any of our social media platforms. Facebook, it's facebook.com/CoreTV, space and news. Our Twitter handle is at CoreTV News NG. We'll also stream live on YouTube. It's youtube.com/CoreTV, space and news. A federal high court sitting in Abuja has ordered the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to register the Young Democratic Party, YDP, as a political party. The party had gone to court to challenge INEC's decision not to register it as a political party. The electoral umpire was said to have received the party's application on April 1st, 2014, but only notified the applicant of its decision not to register it on September 15, 2014. But in his judgment, Justice Ahmed Mohammed held that YDP was deemed registered when INEC failed to inform the party of its decision not to register it as a political party within 30 days of receiving its application as required by the Electoral Act of 2010. The Independent National Electoral Commission, however, is to carry out field testing of card readers in 12 states, including Lagos, on March the 7th. The exercise will hold simultaneously in the states selected across the 6 geopolitical zones. INEC also reviewed that over 55 million permanent voter cards, representing 80.24% of the total number of cards, have so far been collected nationwide. As part of preparations for the general election, the Commission has now scheduled a series of meetings with the President Electoral Commissioners, political parties and international observers in the coming week.
We are prepared for the elections proper. Each voting point, we have a card reader, and like we said, we are going to have what we call redundancies. There will be spares. If by chance anyone gets technically faulty, they will be quickly replaced. But I know that it will cover 12 of the 36 states and the FCT. Yes, so we have chosen 2 states in each geopolitical zone.
A contingent of the British Army is in Nigeria now to build the capacity of operational level officers on counter-insurgency. The 5-day seminar opened at the Jaji Military Cantonment in Kaduna with Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Kenneth Minima assuring Nigerians that the international community that more territory seized by Boko Haram will soon be liberated. He disclosed that the successes recorded in the last few days were as a result of joint operations between the Nigerian forces and the Cameroon, Chad and Niger counterparts. The Army Chief also expressed optimism that the seminar will further strengthen the long-standing partnership between the Nigerian and British armies.
We met it here in Jaji. Now, we have been training at a tactical level, and we requested that this training could be more beneficial if we upgrade it to the operational level. And that's the essence of today's seminar, and hence the theme, so that we upgrade the training to include the operational level training, so that formation commanders like GOCs, brigade commanders and so forth can also benefit from the military assistance training.
During the Second World War, Nigerian troops who had trained with their British brothers-in-arms saw action with the 1st West Africa Infantry Brigade and the 81st and 82nd West Africa Divisions, which fought in Burma. And my brigade, working in support of BMAT, has a relationship too 7th Armoured Brigade, the antecedent of 7th Infantry Brigade, was in Burma in 1942, and it handed over to the 81st West African Division in August 1943. Also, I know that a number of Nigerian Army regiments, as part of the 3rd African Brigade, specifically the 6th, 7th and 12th Battalions, served with distinction with the Chindits, as did the 6th Gurkha Rifles, the regiment I joined as a young officer, and a unit that is extremely close to my heart, as you might imagine. So it is on a solid foundation of joint successes together that we are able to focus on this seminar package that is planned for this week.
And following the recent successes of the Nigeria Armed Forces against Boko Haram insurgents, the Chief of Defense Staff, Alex Bade, has attributed the victory so far recorded to the support given by the federal government through provision of better caliber weapons. Alex Bade says weapons are not items one can get off the shelf, adding that the federal government deserves recognition for the provision of weapons.
That the president has adequately equipped the armed forces, and that's why you are seeing the results that we're getting right now. You don't fight an enemy that has the same kind of equipment with you. You need something a little higher than what he has, and the president has provided those ones, and that's why we are moving, and we're moving very, very fast.
The Army Chief added that there was nothing political about provision of weapons or the postponement of the elections, but a part of President Jonathan's job as Commander-in-Chief.
War machines are not picked up on the shelf. If they were on the shelf, we wouldn't have gotten them. When you make order, it takes time to produce. It takes time to train on them. So it's not today we started. We started a long time ago, before the war became very bad. We had placed orders for those things, and they started coming in, and that is why the president, that's why we say we needed time to finish these insurgents before elections. And I can guarantee you that there's absolutely no politics in that. It was just based on when we were receiving the equipment.
Have you received everything?
Meanwhile, following the twin bomb blasts in Jos, with one detonated at the University of Jos, unsubstantiated online and print media publications added that 12 students from the university died in the incident. The Vice Chancellor of UNIJOS, Professor Aford Mufuya, at a news conference refuted the reports which he termed biased, malicious and baseless. He said one student of the institution sustained a minor injury, and the VC therefore threatened to press charges or report the malicious publications to the Press Council of Nigeria. He said due to the damaging effect that the said publication could have on the university's image, demanded that they retract the report on the front pages of their paper or face the consequences.
On the front pages of their papers, and to report what is the correct thing, because if that doesn't happen, the university will make recourse to other options that are available to us, including, for instance, but not limited to, reporting to the Press Council, and also considering legal options, because this is very damaging to the university, and it's very unfortunate. Something that they had wanted would have verified and gone to press with it. So we demand that they should retract that and report the correct thing.
The Vice Chancellor therefore pleaded with the media to help allay the fears of general public that the institution is safe for academic purposes by reporting the truth, as the school authorities are in constant touch with the security agencies.
One student of the University of Jos that is injured, and not even fatally injured. She's to be discharged today. Before I came to you here, I went to see her in the hospital where she's hospitalized. And we spoke very well, and she said she just wants to go back and write her exams. She has a paper to write tomorrow. So we don't know where these sources have come to say that our students have been so fatally, badly affected the bomb blast. Our partners in all that we're doing have a very huge role to allay the fears of parents and guardians, and even the government at all levels, tell the story correctly as it is, and on this occasion, we are appealing to you to report as we have so indicated.
Updates from outside Nigeria is next after this timeout.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime News.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
U.S. Ambassador to South Korea Mark Lippert has been injured by a knife-wielding attacker in Seoul. Lippert, who was attending a breakfast meeting when he was slashed on his face and left hand, was taken to hospital, but his injuries are not life-threatening. Witnesses said the attacker, 55-year-old man with a history of militant Korean nationalistic activism, shouted demands for North and South Korea to be reunified. He was subdued by security officers and arrested. South Korean President Park Geun-hye said the incident was an attack on the South Korea-U.S. alliance. Now, the assailant reportedly shouted South and North Korea should be unified before lashing out at the envoy. The attacker also expressed opposition to annual military exercises held jointly by South Korea and the U.S., which are currently on the way. North Korea has described the exercises, which involve more than 200,000 troops, as a rehearsal for an invasion and has vowed retaliation. However, there is no evidence that the attacker was an agent of North Korea, the BBC's Stephen Evans in Seoul reports. And that wraps up this on CoreTV News. I am Nifemi Oguntoye. Thanks for being there.